Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome. Hope everybody had a great holiday weekend in the U.S. and a great holiday weekend if it's anywhere else. But I don't think it is. We had a fantastic time. Good reset. It was great. So we're going to do something a little bit different today. We are going to watch a rocket launch that is not an American launch. I understand that there's some political tensions and stuff like that. But anytime anybody sends anything into space, I think it's cool. And I think that we should take notice, and we should know what the hell's going on in the upper atmosphere. So yeah, for example, China has a very successful space station, the Tiangong space station. They've had a couple different crewed astronaut flights, and I don't know that a lot of people know that. So we're gonna follow along. I'll tell you a little bit about the rocket, a little bit about their history. They're astronauts just like a U.S. launch, and we'll go from there. So I am gonna go through and say hello. We have the lovely Impish. What's up, dog mama? You picked a perfect time. I was gone this weekend too, so you didn't miss much. We pre-taped a pirate stream, but yeah, that was pretty good. Jacob, what's up, buddy? I was not late. I was on time. I hit the button on time. And if I was, it was Impish's fault. What's up, Comer? Good to see you, buddy. What's up, Tweety? Jude, good to see you. What's up, AP? Yes. Hey, Dazzler, good to see you, buddy. Barb, what's up? JSDs, what's up, buddy? Big Giant Fuck, good to see you. Fell asleep on 300. How did I miss? Oh, Shenny. Hey, Shenny. Another programming note. I have a ton of shorts out that I just randomly uploaded while we were up there. I absolutely love that place. That's my happy place. It's God's country. It's absolutely gorgeous. Check out some of them. And then the pup playing on the beach the first time. The pup fast asleep on the floor. He's funny right now because we just got home like a couple hours ago, and the dog is laying on his back, paws up, just knocked out to the world. Couldn't be happier that he's in his bed, and he's tired. He had a good weekend. Dazzer, I want you to record for my voicemail, please. I want him to record something too. So let me get. So we're going to be using space.com's footage and completely transforming it for other purposes. Copper Harbor is beautiful. It is so damn far away, though. So our place is in the Engadine, Nobbin Way area of the UP. Absolutely gorgeous. Hey, what's up, Audra? Good to see you. It is so amazing. It's beautiful. If we get a chance and get some free time, maybe we'll go through some of the shorts and I'll explain them to y'all. But where's all the copper? It's in the mines. You can go down, actually, if you go to Houghton Hancock, where the copper mines are, you can go down and see them all. So the UP was instrumental in the manufacturing process. A lot of iron moved through there, a lot of iron deposits. Of course, the shipping through the Great Lakes from, Pennsylvania to Chicago to Detroit for the automotives. Michigan's really an instrumental place, and there's a ton of copper up there. So, I don't think that they have sound.
Diameter of the payload fairing is about 3.8 meters. And also, as I mentioned, there is another version of the Long March 2F, which have a larger payload fairing with a diameter of 4.2 meters, which is used to launch the Tiangong 1 and the Tiangong 2 space laboratories. So it has two versions, because that in that missions, we don't need the ensure the safety of the astronauts. It's unmanned, so some of the emergency escape systems are omitted, so the capability of the launch vehicle can reach to 8.6 metric tons.
Right.
But interestingly, this
What's
is
up,
the
Bobby?
only thing that is launched from Jiuquan for the for the space station. The rest of the segments, including the cargoes, the Tianke, the Wentian, and Mengtian, are all launched from Hainan.
We actually have a
Is that,
big ass
the
piece of
same
float
story to
copper on our
Shenzhou,
wall.
cargo vessel.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes. All of these
That we got last time we were up there.
Station construction as well as
beautiful.
cargoes are from Hainan launch site.
Beautiful.
And the latitude of this Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center is about
Maybe I'll take a
40
picture of
degrees.
it and
so
send
that's
it to you.
the reason why we choose the inclination
Post
of
it on
our
the-
Tiangong space station.
post it on either
Inclination means,
Discord or
the angle
YouTube.
between the orbital plane of the Tiangong and the equator. So the we choose 41.5 degrees as the inclination of our orbit. This is the major reason, because the latitude of the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center is about 40 degrees. And also there are other advantages, as we have already discussed. The
Me too.
climate of the
At
Jiuquan
some
Satellite
point, I
Launch
need
is,
to do
very dry
a
here.
stone
So
stream.
in most of the days, the weather is
'Cause
fine.
we
And also you
we
know
often
that
go rock hunting.
along
There's
the
some
trajectory of
beautiful
the Long
Lake
March
Superior
2F,
agates.
if anything wrong happened, in most cases the emergency landing will happen in the mainland of China. So that will be easy for the rescue teams.
Now, speaking to CGTN, former NASA astronaut Donald Thomas shared his thoughts on China's space development program and explains why everyone works as a team in space.
China's space industry has changed so
Homer,
much
they're
in the last
doing the
3
best they
years.
can with
What have you been looking at?
the dialect
I've
of
been
the
carefully
accent.
watching the Chinese space program probably for the last 10 years. When the U-2 rover was on the moon, that's when I started watching.
Crystal
and
Falls.
I've just watched the growth of it.
I don't remember that
and
one
the
right offhand.
accomplishments
I'm
have
not a fan of
amazed me.
mushrooms, but
Particularly Chang'e 5,
yeah, it's
bringing back some lunar soil.
there's so many
totally
beautiful,
successful
beautiful
mission.
waterfalls.
And I've watched the manned spaceflight program.
It's crazy.
Has been so rapid. That has really impressed me. How
Oh,
quickly
stones.
they've developed.
So I
the
actually
building of the Tiangong space station.
got some fossils
On the ground, there
from
are
Lake Michigan
geopolitical
this time
tensions.
around.
Will that
So
affect international cooperation in space?
I'm all for peaceful purposes. of space.
absolutely.
And that's what I want to see. I've seen the competitive part of space during the space race.
That's really cool.
I've seen the cooperative
That's really cool.
part, and I prefer the cooperative, because even though we have political differences down here on Earth, in space, we work together and we have friendships.
Yeah, Texas is hot.
We've been
Ridiculously
working.
hot.
We, the United States, have been working with the Russians for 30 years or more.
Oh,
on the
shit, was
International
Ozzy
Space
streaming?
Station. And even though politically on the ground we are hitting heads, in space we're a team.
Oh, Isabel,
This
I
is
love
live
rocks
footage
too.
From Jiuquan
Like
Satellite Launch Center, the
so
weather
many
reading
from-
here. And also a
from
little bit
all over.
more updates from the international
Alaska is great. They had
attention.
so much
Elon
granite.
Musk, CEO of
all over.
SpaceX,
It was
says
incredible.
China's space program, I'm quoting now, is far more advanced than most people realize. Musk made remarks in response to a post on Twitter by Canadian astronaut Chris Hadfield. In a tweet, Hadfield cited Wu Weiren, chief designer of Chinese lunar exploration program, who forecast a Chinese taikonaut on the moon by the year 2030. So, gentlemen, China's lunar program. So,
Oh,
line is
okay.
quite clear
I'll reach
now.
out to him. I haven't
It's
talked to him since
by
I
the
got home.
year 2030. So, hopefully, it will be a little bit earlier than that, maybe.
Hopefully, I think Professor Yang has mentioned that we have developed a new generation capsule that is capable of containing 6 to 7 astronauts at one
So
time.
I'm trying to
And also, we
kind
have
of
launch
listen in
vehicles and
because
capabilities.
this is direct
There are
footage
many
from
means
the
to go
Chinese
to,
Communist
to the
Party,
moon.
so you know it's going to be
American
highly
astronaut
favorable.
mentioned about the
Um,
Tiangong missions.
So I'm just
We are
curious about
taking
that portion
samples
of
back
it as
to
well.
Earth. That is just a miniature process of the manned mission, because if you can take samples back to Earth, enlarge that, you can take a man to Earth, to the moon and back. So that is the whole demonstration process for the manned mission. And I'm quite confident that with the technologies of in orbit configurations and docking rendezvous, the moon is not so far.
Right, and obviously we need a larger rocket, right, Professor?
Don't trust China. China is
that
asshole.
yesterday during the press conference of the Shenzhou 60 mission, Mr. Lin Xiqiang mentioned that we will walk on the moon before 2030. That is very, very exciting.
Vagina.
Yeah. So we confirm the schedule. That's we are confident about this because that
17 minutes to launch.
Many of the technologies used on the new generation launch vehicle and the new generation spaceship are based on the current spacecraft. For instance, the 5-diameter launch vehicle, that's the core module. The core stage of the Long March 5.
You're on a list just being in this chat.
So
sorry to tell
it
you.
means that if we use this 5-meter diameter, we can use most of the infrastructure utilized for the Long March 5 series in this manufacturing of the Long March 10. So that will be one.
Okay, so I'm gonna mute off, and then we're gonna learn a little bit about the Chinese space program. I'm not trying to be like ridiculous or racist or anything. I just cannot pronounce half these fucking names. I'm gonna do my best. So they're launching from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center in northwest China. No idea where that's at. They look comfy. Yeah, they look exactly like the Russians. Just packed in there. I'm not sure this guy on the left isn't napping. So it's going to. China has a space station, the Tiangong space station. It's Tiangong, I think. It's actually a pretty good sized space station. They're doing a lot of sorry, I'm not reading that. So yeah, they have a pretty robust space station up there. They've flown several crewed missions. So they are handing off with the 15 crew. So the previous crew that's staying there, this one is not headed towards Mianus. Tiangong. So they're going to stay in space for about 5 months, which is a pretty lengthy stay for they're going to do experiments and application payload. So they're taking up a bunch of experiments, different things like that. Spacewalks and cargo tasks from the airlock module. So much like the Dragon spacecraft, although not as roomy, hang on, 5 months. Yep. 5-6 month stay. And there's our countdown counter in the upper. We're about 14 minutes out. T-minus 14. Tiangong. Was that better? I'm sure there will be some of those. So they have airlock cargo, so ones that are sensitive to the vacuum of space. Probably something living, probably something viral, something like that. Wouldn't be shocking to be in there. Obviously, they're They are much lower tech than the SpaceX's. They're still flipping through papers instead of using an iPad. They actually have an EVA for installation of a payload. I don't know what it's taking. Well, to be fair, they're trying to reach out a little bit more to the international audiences. And they're still censoring it, but they are showing it. I'm sure if something goes wrong, it's going to cut very quickly. So space station maintenance and repair. So they have several missions to repair the space station. They're going to add a new module, some new, I believe it's a new module, some new tech, that kind of thing. So it's going to be, it's got to do a flip, and it was totally intentional. So it's very true. But a good rocket creates its own battery power. So the key tasks that they're going to the Tianzhou 5 cargo craft and Shenzhou 17 crewed spaceship. They're going to dock with those. They're going to depart the Shenzhou 15 crew and the Tianzhou 5 cargo craft when it gets there. They're going to install electric propulsion cylinders, so a new tech for electric propulsion. They're going to add extravehicular cameras, installation of large extravehicular facilities, and they're not specific on that. Large-scale in-orbit tests, and they're going to reach back to here on Earth, and they're going to provide classroom activities for Chinese students. So let's see. Such as a radiation biological exposure experiment devices and general test equipment. Trying to just read through this, blah, blah, blah. Research of novel quantum phenomena, high precision space-time frequency systems, the verification of general relativity, and the study of the origin of life. Their space station is actually pretty intense. This is actually what their space station looks like. So they actually dock to this port here, or they can dock to this port here. It's obviously not as big as the ISS, but kind of goes along that same path. Hooking up the pirate spaceship for boarding the ISS. They certainly could be. The ISS is kind of out of date and old at this point, to be honest, but so the crew that they're relieving, I will get to you in just a second on how big is it. The crew that they're relieving has been in space currently 181 days. So they're flying in the Long March 2, and it has a different Taiwanese name, but I don't know what it. I don't know how to pronounce it, honestly. It's a fairly big rocket. I think it's a tri-stage rocket. So it's 62 meters tall, so 203 feet. It has a diameter of 3.35 meters, or 11 feet. The mass on it is 464,000 kilograms, or just over 1 million pounds. And it actually has 2 stages. My apologies. So So this is kind of their hang on, because I was like, shit, they're not really using that, are they? Oh, they do. See, they use hypergolics. So they use dinitrogen tetroxide. Jesus Christ, if I can talk. Dinitrogen tetroxide. So N2O4 and UDMH, which is unsymmetrical dimethylhydrazine. So it's an ammonia-based H2 nitrogen carbon hydrogen. So it's a older propellant. It's a Russian propellant. But yeah, that's crazy. Their first stage has a burn time of 166 seconds. It has 3 stages, you bastard. So the boosters are, yes, it is very much 1970s NASA tech. I'm also really tired. I drove 6 hours today and was up very early. So normally I could, but yeah. So this is a 3-stage. The boosters are a stage. It has a true first stage. So the true first stage has 166-second burn time with a 291 second specific impulse. See, I can't even say specific. The boosters have a 291 specific impulse with a burn time of 128 seconds. So it will be a true. The first thing you'll see drop is those 4 boosters on the bottom. After that, you'll see the first stage about 38 seconds later. And then that second stage will light, and that burns for about 300 seconds. It's an odd rocket design. It really is. Very, very odd. But it's proven. It's flown... I think they've flown 25 times and 21 times. 21 successful flights in a row. So, do I believe all that? Hell no. But that's what it says.
Before we just conducted an orbit maneuver to raise the orbit of the Tiangong space station. This can be recognized as a very important preparation for today's launch, because that's
What's up,
the
Cheesy?
fast rendezvous docking can
So yeah, we're gonna get back to Mark next week. I didn't have time to prep anything because I wasn't 100% sure I was going to stream tonight. Really wanted to. Was going to try like hell. But and then I saw this.
We just launched the Shenzhou 16 today.
This is the view you never see before.
Yeah,
because it's used by the
drone.
I think it's incredibly important to
very
look at other
safe
space
distance,
programs.
Yeah, they have
And you're
It's
watching
awesome
live
to see
footage from
SpaceX.
the
It's
Georgia
awesome to
Tech
see
Well,
even
we
some
can-
of the NASA flights. But I mean, we don't often see a Chinese rocket going to space. They are spectacular to watch. Hell of a lot of power. They're actually over-engineered and overpowered. They could bring it down significantly. But you see the same thing with the communist style. You see the same spacesuit design, the same where they don't give a damn about comfort. Those guys don't look comfortable. You've seen the SpaceX ones. It's roomy, it's comfy, it's easy. Obviously, it's just like the Soviet program where comfort is not not of concern. You also have commonalities with the Soviet fuels. You have commonalities with the Soviet cross design. So there's several things that they definitely stole from the Soviets. stole. I say stole, but they could have legitimately got them. I'm sure they worked together. But and you see that very gray communist look. Their launch site is just overbuilt, like way overbuilt. Not quality, but it's overbuilt to hell, and it just has that. It has that kind of really hard look to it. So I 100% agree with that. I 100% agree. But they're going to keep stealing stuff. So we could do things to get there. So they couldn't. Yeah, exactly. And we need to know what kind of capabilities. I have to be careful in what I say, but there's some significant concerns with satellite physical infrastructure, U.S. satellites. So the Chinese have the capability, and the next war is probably going to be fought at least partially in space. So yeah, they borrowed them. What's up, Flux? Yes, we are watching it. The Chinese Shenzhou 16 crew launched to the Tiangong space station on the Long March 2 rocket. Holy shit, I said it all right. Yes, and they look terrified. I wonder what they eat. That would be interesting, for real. I'm just in a really good mood. Had a good reset, so. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's kind of why it's exciting to watch, because we'll see what happens. I really wonder.
Every time we are nervous.
The Buran or
You
Bhutan.
are.
Bhu-
Every time.
Every
Bhu
time. it's
something.
very nice.
You've seen this too much, I thought.
Yeah,
Exciting and nervous.
Right.
but they didn't steal that. But it
Three
looked
Takamon,
exactly
ready?
like it.
The launch of the Shenzhou 16 manned space mission is imminent at the moment.
God, I wish we had
0931
launchers.
is the launch time for this mission. You're watching live
Any
footage
second, so I'm
from
gonna let
Zhou
it,
Satellite Launch Center
I'm gonna let it go to
in
them,
northwestern
and
China.
I'm gonna stay quiet.
This is live footage from inside the Shenzhou 16 spacecraft. The 3 Taikonauts are ready to go.
It seems that the 3 crew members are much more calm than us.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they're well trained. 1 minute countdown.
Oh, are they
Launch.
delaying it? I guess not. I guess it's pretty close.
1 minute
Okay.
countdown to the launch.
And the arm will be open.
Anytime.
50 seconds to the launch.
See, it's separated.
Now, the rocket is in standalone mode, ready for launch and ignition.
At this stage, the rocket is on its own. The navigation is
30 seconds to go.
So this is a video from the drone.
Never been seen this.
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Liftoff.
Why did we get a static shot and then sus?
Pitch over means that it has already changed its direction from vertical direction to the
To a certain
eastwards.
angle, right? We can also see that from
Yeah,
a
to
far
the
short.
eastwards.
Yes.
新山 USD 雷达跟踪正常，遥测信号正常。
This
The
will be
Shenzhou 16
So this is a video mount with from the camera mounted on the core stage.
Right.
And this is an infrared image.
You're watching live footage on the launch of the Shenzhou 16 spacecraft to China Space Station.
And the next critical step will be the jettisoning of the emergency escape tower.
Right.
Again, this is infrared.
We can see a clear angle change, right?
Yeah. So it's flying eastward.
So will there be still some adjustment of the angle to the
Flight direction.
41.5 degree as you earlier mentioned?
Yeah. So the inclination. So this is you
That's
can
a
see
very
two of the
chemical flame,
boosters.
so that flame's accurate.
There are 4 in total,
There are
right?
4.
Yeah.
So this is
That's
their
the color.
on this
Yeah,
side.
just from one side. Yeah.
Should be able to see it on separation.
Right.
So the emergency escape tower will be jettisoned soon.
You can see some light sparks on the top of the rocket when it's injected.
Right. And on the right side of the
It's,
screen is the simulation.
3D simulation, but it is driven by the real data,
Real data, of
which
course.
means that the position and the
Okay,
jettison.
now, the jettison of the escape tower.
Yeah. And the next step will be separation of the 4 boosters.
Right. Let's wait.
It's infrared so that
for
they can
those,
see actual
step by
flight
step.
systems. A regular picture doesn't give you much information.
Followed by separation of the fairing.
The G forces acting on the bodies.
NASA
of
has
astronaut
live
are
video and then infrared as well. They have.
We can see the
I
see the
think they
burning
retired
marks on the
Sophia,
engines,
but they-
right? So
they have a
right now
plane
it's
that flies
really
up.
high into the atmosphere,
Okay,
right?
separated.
Okay, separation of the 4
Those are-
engines.
Yeah.
And the core stage is also separated.
Core stage separated.
So this is again the infrared image. You can see the very clear the 4 boosters and the first stage.
They've already separated from
Now it's already on the working of the second stage.
second stage.
As I mentioned, it has 1 main engine and 4 vertical engines.
Right.
They
They
are
say
just
they
talking.
feel so comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're talking. I would
So
say
comfortable.
They've done the max Q, which is the maximum gravity.
they've already done that.
Yeah, they've already done it.
So you can see this is a camera from the video mounted on the second stage.
Second stage.
And
This
this
is
is
inside the
a
fairing.
camera in the payload fairing.
Mm.
And the next critical step will be the jettisoning of the payload fairing. Okay,
It's all done.
It's just
already done.
Yeah.
Now they can see the side
They can
scenes
see
from
the
the
outside.
window.
Yes, yeah, they can see that.
Yes. So
And they're done.
are they out of the atmosphere right now?
Exactly.
So can we say they're already in outer space?
Yes.
You're watching live footage from inside the Shenzhou 16 spacecraft.
To be
The
fair,
three
they're
Taikongans
Chinese, so
are now
they're not-
in outer
they're
space,
not allowed to
heading
make
towards
any-
the China space station.
Chinese military
On the
members.
left,
He's smiling
left
now.
side of the screen, we can see the camera mounted still on the
On course stage.
core stage,
The second
outside
stage.
the core stage.
So this is working of the second stage of the Long March 2F
Mm.
rocket vehicle. Still, the on the left of screen is the infrared videos.
Right.
And the second stage of the Long March 2F worked much longer than the first stage because it only has 1 main engine,
Right.
with a thrust about 80 tons.
This is the image of the stage, the second stage engine.
The main engine of the second stage is fixed, and you can see that the small engine on the left corner, the small warning engine can change its direction to control the trajectory.
Why isn't
Okay,
it fired?
The main engine is fixed its
Is it
angle.
fired?
For propulsion purpose.
Yeah, right.
And usually we separate the payload fairing at the altitude of about 100 kilometers.
It's an
So
MVAC
at this
engine, so
moment,
it shouldn't be.
according to the
It shouldn't be hot,
definition,
but
Now we can
should see a
see
plane.
again live streaming from inside the China space station.
they are watching the live,
Yeah.
live coverage.
They're getting
Yeah.
closer.
They're getting closer and closer to their colleagues at this moment.
And also on the right bottom of the screen, we can see the 3D animation,
Yeah.
and also you can see the data link between the ground stations and the launch vehicle.
Okay, so 3 of them.
Three of-
at
Yeah,
least
three
from
stations.
the
3 ground
simulation.
stations.
3 ground stations.
At this moment, they're constantly changing.
Right.
So they are experiencing the.
It's also a
G
relay
forces.
race between different ground.
They have a relay.
Downstream.
Yes.
And this is a video.
Isabel,
on
I will
the
ban
rear
you
part
so
of the
fast if
second
you're a
stage.
flat earther.
It's still working at this moment,
It's
right?
still
Still
working.
burning.
And the next critical step will be the shutdown of the main engine. But
Oh, we can see the Earth, right?
Yes.
yes, it's very bright.
So they're now in outer space.
No, your
and
camera
the second
sucked.
stage engine is
That's
still
what's
at work. What's
Yeah, you can see.
what's the next stage aim? They're adjusting the position angles or
Yeah. Adjusting its trajectory.
Trajectory.
You can see, although it is in daytime, but the sky is black because they were already in outer space in a vacuum condition.
Yeah.
So the rocket engine will take them to the right velocity and right altitude,
right,
and right orbit before there is a separation between the engine and the capsule itself. And then the final success will be indicated by the deployment of the solar array.
Right. Wow.
They are very relaxed.
Yes.
The Shenzhou 15 crew are relaxed and happily waiting for their colleagues, but we can.
Okay, so well, yes, Audra, and that's one of the things that I wanted to point out was, I know a lot of people don't know that China they have a rather large space station. It doesn't rival the ISS directly, but they're building it, and it's pretty good size for a space station. It's much longer than Mir or I forget the other U.S. space station, but it's a good sized space station. So, I mean, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. I think it's a real launch. It's a little sus that they showed a delayed image. See, we're seeing some gimbling. Yeah, God, it's just that communist bloc look. Like, it's just so industrial and so dirty looking. It's, in my opinion, I think it was a proper launch. That's just me. They're probably the ones that people sent back to Amazon and they just strapped them on the side of a spacecraft. I'm not even kidding. They might be. No, their cameras are shit. Absolutely terrible. This is so when you're doing it, there's so much training and then so much emotion, and most of them are military people. So they're not, and being that it's nationally broadcast, I can see why they weren't showing much emotion, being that it's Chinese. I think it's interesting. There was another comment, and am I going to be able to find it? Yes, he did. Yeah. Anytime that we send humans into space, any program, any person, any country, any company, I think it's just absolutely fascinating. I get the China thing. I don't support China. I'm not a fan of China. But I think anytime anybody can put humans into space on a controlled explosion, it is just mind-blowing. It is the coolest thing on the earth. You couldn't tell? There we go. So there's stage step. That actually seemed kind of early. But I'm not watching their counter. 41. No, they're probably right about the 10-minute burn. Okay. So they either made it or they didn't. Oh, I'm certain that it's not as safe or as effective as an American spacecraft or a SpaceX spacecraft. But it doesn't take getting to space with humans is difficult, but it's something that major countries like this could do pretty easily. So that's a loaded question. The atmosphere actually extends past the moon. Sphere of influence or atmosphere. There's enough particles to still call it technically atmosphere out past our moon. So technically, we've never left our atmosphere. But that's a huge debate in the scientific community because then you can get Kármán line. Where's the Kármán line? I think it's 200 kilometers. They think it's, people can say all the way up to 5. I've heard they're assholes, but I've heard all the way up to 5. So that's a heavily contested debate in the scientific community. So I would get on this rocket because I would love to go to space. However, if Elon would give me a ride, I would much prefer it. I know, right? Damn it, Flux. I swear you're trolling, but maybe you're not. If you're not, we should have either way, we should have a conversation. For real. Well, that's what I'm. There's not ignition because they use hypergolics. So if you use the space shuttle or if you have a SpaceX Falcon or even the Starship, you mix the fuels and then you have to ignite them with an outside ignition source. These are hypergolics, so as soon as they mix, they ignite. So there's not that ball ignition. There's not that spark flying. There's not those kind of things with this type of fuel. So and like I said, it's hella over engineered and it jumps off the pad. I know that. So it's thrust to weight's like 2.8, I believe. Don't quote me on that because I don't remember, but it's pretty ridiculous. So no, this is my sweet spot, Scad. I don't think I said hi either. Hello. I apologize. This is my sweet spot. Rockets are my sweet spot. So yeah, and that's not to say shit, did they not put astronauts on it? So here's my short synopsis on that. China doesn't have any problem killing 3 people. And so I don't think that there's a huge they're not going to be as cautious as the United States would be or has been. They believe in the mission and these guys are committed to it whether they want to be or not. So that's just my synopsis on that. That's true. I completely agree, Raven. What's up? I haven't seen you in a while. But like I said, it's cool to see any space program put humans into space. So yeah, and that could be too. The only feed available was from China, the government of China. So me too. Space is only about 3 minutes away. 2 minutes, and most vehicles can get you there in about 2. Again, we fight with this. What is space? But my technical space, you can get there in about 2.5 minutes. So even if you look at like a SpaceX rocket, they're in microgravity in about, I think there's this like 238. It's pretty quick. Not as you get up there. No. That is their space station. So the Tiangong space station, that, and they keep flipping. That's their mission control. So yeah, it's not far. It's not far, and you're going, 17,000 miles per hour. Thank you. Yes. No, I believe they picked him up. No, I'm just giving you shit, Flex. No, not NASA. This is China. China built their own space station. Yes. Any day of the fucking week. I would wear anything or nothing to get on any rocket. If somebody would take me to space, I would do nearly anything. Legitimately. No, I'm not. I'm reading your guys' comments. So yeah, I'm a big believer in a anarchical technocratic way of doing things, but that's just because I'm a nerd. So it sure as hell looks like it.
According to the flight data and a report from Beijing Aerospace Center, the Long March 2 Y-16 carrier rocket has sent Shenzhou 16 manned
I would agree
spacecraft
with you on
to the
didn't
preset
get to
orbit.
the moon, but
The solar panel has been unfolded successfully and is functioning well. I now declare the launch of Shenzhou 16 mission a complete success.
Now, this just came in. China has just officially announced the successful launch of the Shenzhou 16 manned spacecraft with 3 taikonauts on board. For more on that, let's cross live to our reporter Wu Lei at Beijing Aerospace Command and Control
I don't know what
Center.
a
Wu Lei,
taikonaut
now
is,
the
but I
Beijing
guess that's
Center has
there.
taken over the flight control. Bring us up to date.
Hello, Pandang.
so yeah, I think that, yep. So their coverage is done. So yeah, that's China's Long March 2. They just kind of ended the coverage. So China nuts. Yeah. So I'll share because I know we missed. Shit, if I can click the button. So this is their space station right here. So they have a couple different modules. They have 2 docking ports, and obviously solar panels and so forth. So I know, I was looking at that too. I was like, oh shit, we should do more launches. No, I love you guys getting ridiculous on Mondays. It's fun. So yes, it's that. It's the celebrity flux. The awesome flux. Yeah, looks like a knockoff. Shocking. It does. They just miniaturized the space station. Yeah. So but yeah, that's kind of launch. Here's the rocket again. And Haichao, Jing Haipeng, Yangzhu was the crew that got to go up. Yeah, it's a different rocket, that's for damn sure. But it flew, so God damn it, we're not doing this again. We all are all nerds. But yeah, y'all. I just wanted to, like I said, I wanted to share that with you and let you guys know that, there is China does have a space station. They actually have quite a successful, albeit very archaic looking, space program. It's pretty interesting. So maybe we'll touch on them a little bit more as they keep building. And some of the other geopolitical things surrounding it. But yeah. All right, y'all. Thank you so very much for stopping by. No, it's shorter than normal, but good one to break back into after my wonderful weekend. Go check out my shorts. And again, Brian made me this awesome outro. So I'm going to play the outro, and I will catch you all tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye-bye.